Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about basically the potential Halloween event that very likely is dropping this weekend here in NBA 2K26 MyTEAM, and how it's a massive opportunity to be like a turning point for this game this year. I really think it's possible. I'm not saying it's likely, but I am saying that it's definitely possible that we might have a little bit of a resurgence potentially with the game if they do this event right. We'll see what happens. Obviously, they haven't updated pack odds as of yet. Players are profits definitely still going strong for me, and I think for a lot of other people, and I continue to encourage people to not fund this game until we see some continued more significant dramatic change than what we have seen so far, obviously. But this is a huge opportunity, because if 2K drops a great event with a lot of free to play, free to grind content, stuff that's actually worthwhile, a couple of top tier cards, at least one top tier card that you can get for free, and then multiple quality budget cards that fill team needs and things like that as well, I definitely think there is potentially some real opportunity if 2K were to execute this event correctly. Now, we should probably start by talking about what last year's event looked like. They dropped the Dia de los Muertos event, which was the first event in NBA 2K25 out of many. They started with Dia de los Muertos, and then they did like did they even do a harvest event? I can't remember actually. It wasn't a harvest event, but did they do? I don't think they did a Black Friday event. I think they just did like Hoff boxes and stuff. Then they did like a winter festival, All-Star Festival, and then they started doing them like every 2 weeks after that. But the first one, and I remember being very annoyed about it, had SGA, who was completely, well, not completely, he was completely unattainable, no money spent, pretty much. But for money, he wasn't that insanely expensive. You still had to spend a good amount of money to get him. I was not thrilled about that at all at the time. Now, it got much worse in the later events, but everything else in the event was attainable for free. Jaime Jaquez Jr. was a really good card. Eduardo Nájera, Juan Toscano were not amazing, but they were decent budget options as well. And we also got, obviously, Pink Diamond Victor Wembanyama in packs. Now, I will say the packs that we dropped, or that they dropped for Halloween last year, were not that insane. Clay, Kyrie, Wemby, Carmelo, D'Lo, Josh Smith, Greg Monroe, Tony Kukoc, Raymond Felton. This Cephalosha was a nice budget card. This Chalmers was a nice budget card. They were both really good budget, like salary cap options. But otherwise, I mean, it wasn't an insane drop besides Wemby. Wemby was just absolutely ridiculous himself. I wouldn't be surprised if we see something similar. That's kind of what the drops have been like recently, honestly. A lot of like one or two really, really good top tier cards, and then kind of just throughout the drop. Good budget card here and there, good diamonds about once a week. It seems like there's one or two good diamonds each week, so we'll see if that continues to be the way that this drop is on Friday. Either way, no matter what they drop Friday, unless it is just the best event ever, I still wouldn't recommend spending money on packs. I will say I wouldn't be shocked if they drop Hoff boxes on Friday. They have not dropped them yet. They waited till last year, or sorry, they waited last year until Black Friday to drop Hall of Fame boxes. I wouldn't be surprised if they drop those earlier this year in order to try to get more people to spend as well. Again, probably would recommend people not open them, although if they wind up being absolutely insane value, I'm not going to sit here and blame people and be angry at people for spending money. People can do what they want. I just personally think as a community, probably shouldn't be funding 2K still until there is significant positive change, but I do understand people's logic. If they just all of a sudden drop a box that's way better than every single other pack and pack odds they've had all year, I can understand that people are probably going to open. I'm not going to sit here and vilify the people for that personally. I'm not going to. I encourage other people to not as well. In all likelihood, unless this Friday is absolutely amazing, I doubt it changes anything really in terms of the actual players over profits movement. But I will say last year, the festival, besides Shea, and I do want to say I overreacted, I think, last year with the festival with Shea a little bit. I was very frustrated about the content drop that they did last year. But honestly, when you look through this festival, it's really not terrible last year. It's not amazing, but besides SGA, who was 20 pink diamond pieces and wasn't attainable without spending money, you could get a 92 plus, go back, I clicked on all this stuff, but you could get a free 92 plus player pack. Actually, you could get 10 of them, but you could get several of them for free. You could get a free Diamond Eric Spoelstra card for free. You could get a legend badge for a couple of Pink Diamond Skulls, which you could earn. You could earn these Pink Diamond Skulls pretty easily to get at least a few of them. You can get a free 10 box. There was a Diamond Hidden Gem for a Pink Diamond Skull. There were several things throughout this event last year that were legitimately good rewards. I'm hopeful that we see that again. I think what 2K should do, I don't think they're going to, but I will say this. I think what 2K should do with this festival is make everything free. That is just my opinion. Do I think they will do that? No. But that would be a massive way to rebuild community sentiment, to make every single reward in the event at least attainable for free if you're willing to grind for it, not some absurd grind. Now, I don't mind if the top card is a challenging card to get, but if they were to, let's say they dropped I'm just gonna throw out a name, a Pink Diamond Cooper flag as the ultimate reward for the Halloween festival, and you could get him. It would take, I don't know, a lot of grinding over a couple weeks, but it was realistically feasibly possible to do. And then they filled in the rest of the event, and there were a couple of really good budget cards as well, and one guy who's maybe not quite as top tier of a card, but is still a very good card that makes a lot of people's teams that can be attained a little bit more easily. If we had an event like that, that would regain so much positive community sentiment towards 2K that I think they really, really could use right now. Now, are they willing to sacrifice profits like that? I doubt it. I don't expect that to happen. I really, personally, to be completely honest, won't even be mad if there is one unobtainable player, though, unless you spend money. I'm not going to be mad about that. If everything else in the event is obtainable and there is multiple quality rewards that are actually worthwhile, including a couple of legitimately good cards that you can get for free in the festival, I'm not going to sit here and get super mad about one unobtainable card, of course, unless that card is somebody who's completely and utterly overpowered, as in a Wimby-esque card. Obviously, he's already in the game, but somebody who's broken and way better than every other card at their position, that's an issue. If you have a card that can't be obtained unless you spend hundreds of dollars, and he's the best player at his position by an absolute mile, and it's just not even close, that's an issue. If they drop Pink Diamond Hakeem, and you can't get him unless you're willing to spend money, okay, he's going to be an amazing card, one of the 2 or 3 best bigs in the game in all likelihood, but at the end of the day, okay, I'll live with it. They want to make their money. I understand 2K is a business. I'm not going to completely and utterly vilify them. I don't love that strategy, but I understand that it is part of their strategy. That being said, I don't know, man. I don't expect greatness. I really hope for a good event and some quality content and something that's truly rewarding as free to play and stuff to actually do, and maybe ways to make MT as well. That would be really nice. I really hope they do well with this event, but I am fully aware that that probably isn't super likely. We'll see what happens. It really is an opportunity, though, and if anybody from 2K is watching this, I really do encourage y'all, man. This is a huge, huge chance to win back a lot of positive community sentiment. Look at the All-Star event last year, which, by the way, also had a couple of unobtainable cards unless you were willing to spend a lot of money. But there was so much good about that in terms of good quality players and ways to make MT and things to do in that event that it brought a lot of positive community sentiment into 2K for the first time in quite a while. This event could do the exact same thing. And if you want to make money, you want a happy community that's enjoying your game, you have to give them things to do. That's why the disaster of the Motor Awards this season was such a big deal. I still think they should update the Motor Awards. They're not going to, but I absolutely think they should update these Season 2 Motor Awards. I don't know why they haven't, to be completely honest. That being said, again, it's just my opinion. We'll see what happens. I am hopeful for a good Halloween event, and we'll find out. Now, again, I'm hoping for good. I'm not expecting good. Don't get your expectations too high, because this company will let you down. That is one word of advice I have for sure. That being said, players over profits. We're sticking with it. I appreciate y'all's support. I hope y'all did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back on more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.